Good evening, once again everyone. My name is Mr. Smaghannigan, and tonight we're going to be doing part 9 of the Adventures of Alundra Let's Play, where we will first be speaking to Chancellor to see if anything interesting is going on there, and then we're going to place the flowers we got earlier at Olen's grave. Now then, unfortunately, well, whatever. Ronan isn't really saying much interesting here, anything interesting here, mainly praying for the souls of those who have been lost to the world. It's fair enough, you know, it's fair. We're allowed to do that. But, nothing much going on here, so let's just get past this particularly boring area as I slowly sputter and stutter away to the tune of nothing. And we get more money, which is really good. But we can now actually enter the graveyard for the first time, and we can enter the gravekeeper's house, Cephas's house, as it were. It's pretty average. Dude's got a little bunny rabbit plush there. This is alright. But the main interest is the basement, really, because there's something interesting going on here. Thankfully, we don't need to light those to be able to see this. But this is a puzzle, a curious puzzle that, unfortunately, we can't truly attempt until we've managed to pick up something that lights these sconces on fire. I don't know, lanterns, whatever you want to call them. But yes, with yet another thing left to dangle, like, oh jeez, I can't believe I failed that one. But yes, with another minor plot point left behind, we get to explore the graveyard properly. There's a lot of empty spots here. Nothing foreboding, of course. We get lovely little markings here describing the people as they were. Don't know why I did that. Probably to show that you could do it. Yes. And finally, we get to Olen's grave, which immediately cuts control from me as this happens. Yep, we gotta be nice to those that have died. I mean, we tried to help him, and we even got something for it. But yes, and as you can tell, something eerie's going on. So best thing to do is read a gravestone. I'm pretty sure if I were to try and escape, I wouldn't be able to because, well, cutscene nonsense. And here we have up ahead a strange stone. No idea what. Well, I'm not entirely sure why it was there in the first place, but oh, I hope you got 50 FPS for this one because otherwise this is going to look kind of dumb. But yes, we are now going to be entering the Crypt of Lars, as it were. You know, once the loading's done. Here we go, Lars' crypt. And once we're in, we're stuck. We can't get out. We have to complete this place in order to proceed with the game, which is fair enough. But still, there are a lot of plaques all over the place. I think they're plaques that are sometimes cryptic, sometimes helpful, and sometimes eerie, as they were. Now then, we are locked in this room initially, and we won't be able to get out until we solve the puzzle. Oh yes, and this puzzle involves these 5 plaques. We get 5 plaques commemorating the 5 saints, the 5 chromatic saints, as it were. We've got Saint Blue, we have Saint, what was he called again? Saint Green? Yes, Saint Green. We also have Saint White, Saint Red, and Saint Brown. They all have descriptions here that show exactly what they're all about, or exactly how their teachings are beheld. Got Saint White here basically being the best, as it were. Oh, god damn it, I really should have been paying attention to these. Yes, we've got Saint Red here saying that he is not as good as Blue, which is a thing. We've got Saint Brown here saying that I think it basically says, yes, Saint Green is reverent of Saint Red, and Saint Brown is reverent of Saint Green. So yes. And we have a small plaque here saying, well, actually, I'm not entirely sure what that's meant to mean. It's almost as if I have no reading comprehension whatsoever. No, but in order to solve the puzzle, we get a small hint here. We have to show proper reverence to them. As you can tell here. Don't know why I had to do the little silence there, but yes. We must talk to them with utmost respect, as he says. I can't believe I failed to say anything interesting there, but we have to talk. Basically, we have to talk to them in order. And that means we have to talk we have to talk to them in this order. Saint White, Saint Red, Saint Blue... No, wait. Saint White, Saint... Well, anyway. Yeah, no. Yeah, here we are. Sorry, I always mess this up. But I got it first time. It was Saint White, Saint Blue, Saint Red, Saint Green, and Saint Brown. I really ought to have a little graphic somewhere, but... What are you going to do? Make me? No. But what I wanted to try and see if I could activate the plaque without actually looking at the damn thing, because you can do it here. It's like, I wonder what's going on to the right of me. Sounds pretty interesting. But no, we don't get. I wasn't able to pull off the backwards read, the eyes in the back of my head, as it were. But without knowledge of how exactly to do this, you'd have like what was it? You'd have nearly 100. Actually, no, you'd have 120 different ways of doing this, and only one correct method of doing so. Could you imagine trying to do this without knowing how to read? It would be horrifying. But then, why would you be playing this game without being able to read? I don't know. No offense meant, of course. But yes. Having paid our respects to the saints, we are allowed to pass. If we try to say yes without having done it properly, he basically chastises you and say, you will rot here forever or something. I can't remember the exact line. I really should have showed it off. But here we have the slowest door opening sequence ever. At least I think in this game. I'm pretty sure there are slower ones in other video games, as it were. Like Payday 2, for example, or some shit. And bloody Vault Door. Or maybe Left 4 Dead 2. I don't know. There are so many options. But thankfully, they fade out pretty quickly. And with that done, we can finally continue on to the next room. It's crazy, I know. And I'm cutting down most of these bushes purely to get money for that life container, as you might remember. And here we have one of the creepy planks. I forget the names. And another one, basically, oh man, you gon' die. The rude thing. And these enemies are kind of, well, the scythe wielders are not irritating. The zombies, however, oh boy. You ever wonder where those Newgrounds Flash games got the idea for screamers? I wanna bet that this is one of those places, or one of the inspirations. Every time they run at you, they will scream like hellfire. It is irritating. Thankfully, we won't be encountering many of those later on. Oh boy. Anyway, sorry, I really shouldn't lie about that. But yeah, so the bridge across, we now get 2 boxes of herbs. Unfortunately, we can't carry any of them, so let's at least use one of the blasted things. Steal one, and then, since I didn't know what was in the other one, but had an inkling, let's open it, curse our luck, and bugger off. On to the next room. I don't know why I went right there. I could have just clicked left once and been like, yep, this is the bombs. And here we have one of the bigger rooms of the area. Buttons, plaques, and holes galore. Unfortunately, this button doesn't seem to be working. It always makes that noise. Even if, well, basically I think that's just there as a red herring. As you do. And we've got 2 plaques here that have cryptic clues to puzzles that are in this area. This is basically indicating that there will be 4 switches or levers later on that we have to hit in the correct order. And this one will tell us basically, it tells us the best way to continue on in the next room, which is this one. And this is what I meant about there being no real or true pits in the game. At least as far as I remember. Anything that would have potentially counted as full damage would instead have been just blocked off with an invisible wall. You drop down a hole, there's a way to get out, which is a good thing. Now, I don't remember why I was trying to bait these bastards with bombs, but oh well. Anyways, here we go with more of the screaming. I really hope you like these guys, because I certainly do. Thankfully, after a while, they get, what was it? Nope, no, wait, hang on, they don't get less annoying. But I like those, they're somehow managing to kick up dust on water. Like, it takes real skill to do that. Somehow. Yeah, as you could tell, there were 2 levels. 2 levels, yes, levels. No, well, there are technically 2 levels in this room. It's just, you know, I can't get to the correct one because of all this bloody water. Now, there are 2 levers in this room that we will need to switch to the correct areas in order to get out of here. And yes, here we have more bloody herbs. It's almost as if they were, you know, inviting people to use the damn things. Who'd have seen it coming? Now, we gotta use these barrels to get the hell out of here, or to get the hell out of here in the proper manner. You know, I just gotta make sure I don't accidentally step on water whilst I'm doing this, otherwise it basically... Oh, nope, you're not jumping properly. And left is left and right is right, was the name of that puzzle that I forget the rest of, but it's basically the way to get out of here. Thankfully, this only has 3 different ways to throw the levers. I've got to stop saying it levels. Now, this would mainly... I'm not entirely sure what this rock was for in the first place, because I think it's mainly just to get up there to get a free heal. But basically, if you press a button that causes a cutscene like that, or a message to pop up, you will lose the boulder. And yes, here we have more hints towards exactly what to do in the next room. We've managed to we've got the button here that opens this gate. I'm not entirely sure what it's used for, but it's certainly a thing. Now, here we have another little scene that has cut control from our hands. But unfortunately, I don't think that hole led to anywhere interesting, but I'll be showing it off later anyway. And the eagle-eyed of y'all would know that this is one of the puzzles that was shown in the in the animated intro sequence. And this is exactly what happens when we do it the correct way. And yes, we are getting helped through the crypt by the spirits of old, as it is. And yes, apparently testing us to the very limit of our existence involves opening a door somewhere else and letting us go through. We're going to be fighting slimes and zombies again. Isn't that scintillating? And before we continue on, we're going to find the save point, which is always a good thing. And we're going to find another treasure chest with, guess what? It's another bloody herb. Ugh. As you can tell, you kind of get tired of them after a while, especially when you never bloody use them. And we're going to quickly save here. In this pocket dimension of the crypt. We don't question it. Not a lot, anyway. Probably should have just cut this out. I mean, you know, who the hell wants to see someone save? And yes, there's a title, Leaving the Miners. It's a sad sight. And with that done, we can finally bugger off to the next... We can bugger off out of here, explore some stupidity one last time, and realise, oh, wait, this was completely useless. Now, I'm just gonna show exactly where this hole leads, because I thought, oh, actually, maybe this does lead somewhere. Nope, it's back down here. Ugh. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with the zombies quite as much. Bloody screaming bastards. And I do... What was I doing again? Ah, jeez, this bit always... I really should have taken more notes on what exactly I was doing here. I think I wanted to see if pushing the button when I had the... Yes, that's what it was. I wanted to push the button that said, oh, this is broken, whilst also holding the rock. Fortunately, that didn't do anything. Even with the boulder on top of the launcher's head. It's an unfortunate thing, but, well, I think sometimes buttons really are just, you know, red herrings. Not meant to be there for any reason at all, other than to distract. And yes, it appears to be broken. We're just going to ignore that switch and bugger off. Well, yeah, that is a switch. We're going to ignore that switch and just carry on with the game. And down here is the path to the next area, as you might be able to tell. And yep, we're going to be fighting more enemies. We're locked in. And unfortunately, this does mean more zombies. More flipping JPEG bastards. Whatever you want to call them. And can't believe I wasted that pot, but oh well. Thankfully, these guys are still quite weak to cracks across the skull from pots, which is always a good thing. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to kill all of the zombies in time. Or I wasn't able to kill all the zombies with the pots because, well, this one was too quick on its feet. Somehow, it's a bloody zombie. You wouldn't think they'd be able to charge. But hey, here we are. We got games that are basically running zombies nowadays because people just aren't afraid of shambling bastards anymore. Having cut him down, as you do, we are almost up to 500 Gilder with Gilder. Sorry, so many bloody PlayStation games, I keep messing them up. We're almost up to 500 cash needed to purchase that light vessel. And down these stairs, we'll find more locations. Who'd have thought it? More holes will be created, thusly. And these holes are a bit iffy in that they actually try and pull Alundra into the pit. Or, not so much as they try and pull him into the pit, more of they cause him to slide in. Not a good thing, you know. Or at least one of them does. Just one side doesn't do anything. And yes, here we get a vague hint as to what to do here, with more of that goddamn perspective nonsense here. And there's 2 buttons here. There's everything here, as it is. And we get a key. Always a good thing, which we can use to continue on to the next, or explore part of the next area. And there's something in the pit down here, but it's nothing critical, as it were. But it's still something useful. And we've got a little puzzle here, but we don't know what to do with it. Oh man. And a door that remains locked until we have solved the puzzle. And I didn't want to solve it right away because, as much as I might know it, you guys don't know it, as it is. Who'd have thought it? So yeah, we're going to get the context required to actually understand how to solve this damn thing by jumping into this pit. Yes, like I've said, every pit in this game has a method of getting out of it. Otherwise, it just wouldn't be realistic. Last thing you need is someone falling into a fucking death pit into someone's mind, and yep, that's your lot. He's dead. Game over. That's just unfair, man. Yes, it's unfortunate that the only... Actually, where was I going with that? I don't remember. But yes, we get the context for the puzzle here. They will basically we have to cover the correct. We have to correct the. Oh god damn it! I've messed up my words again. We have to cover the correct. Yes, we have to cover the correct. We have to cover the correct pits with boulders in order to continue with the game. You probably could have figured that out already on your own, but sometimes you just need to really confirm it. I'm not entirely sure what water has to do with any of it, but I guess it's reverence. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna slowly hop our way, and yes, unfortunately, this is the fastest way to move through the bloody foot-deep water that causes Alundra's shoes to get waterlogged to the point where he can't bloody walk properly. The fastest way to move through it is to hop along, as it were. Yes, here we get the Gilded Falcon of this area, as you do. So now we just gotta kill these last 2 slimes and be able to get out of here, you know, double quick like. Excuse me, had to clear my throat a little. With this place cleared, as it were, we can now hop up. Well, we don't have to hop up anymore, considering we're out of the water. But we're gonna climb up, get down to this area, and solve the puzzle, as it were. As you can tell, two of them are sort of fancy with bones in them, and we've just completely managed to crush them. Screw you, buggers! Doing that as well has activated this platform. Well, I want to say it's activated. It takes a while, but now we've just got to stand on this in the right way to avoid getting hit by the spike boulders. So it's understandable. Unfortunately, I wasn't quick enough here to get past, so. Gonna have to make another trip around the entire area. It's slow going, but it gets the job done, as it were. I feel like I need to have like a glass of water next to me because my throat gets dry way too quickly, especially with these really long videos. And thankfully, we're able to pick things. If something is above us in such a manner, we're able to pick it up without having to, without having to worry about anything. And this is why we weren't able to go ahead before. Both of the southern. Wow, I fucked up there. To the south, there would have been 2 conveyor belts, as you can tell. And if we would have stepped on them, we would not have been able to get off until we got dropped off naturally. And unfortunately, dropped off is meant in the literal sense here. Continue through here. Just hit that to confirm that yes, this is in fact no longer useful or usable. It's just to show there is actually stuff down here. And yes, it's more bloody zombies. More bloody zombies that take 8 hits to destroy. Oh, if this were like if these were Zelda enemies, they would be bosses. It's just crazy. Well, this is horrifying. At least most of the bosses I know take 8 hits to destroy. And these platforms don't move until you've killed all the zombies in the area, so we're gonna have to find the last zombie. And there he is, a little bastard. Now, we can't hop up there because of perspective issues. It's 1 block taller than the rest of us are, than we are. But with that done, we can now hop very slowly along to the platform that we can actually hop onto. It's crazy. Get out of the way, screensaver. I don't need you. Sorry. Platforms being platformed, it's almost like we're playing the Marios. Yes, I had to say it exactly like that. The amusing thing is, if you try and walk into a wall on a platform, it apparently causes you to hold onto the platform. And since we have a spare one of these, since we technically have a spare, we may as well use it, you know? Fully heal those 2 hit points. I don't know why I tried pressing circle here. Maybe I thought, oh, maybe pressing circle will actually open this treasure chest for once. I feel like I've got to slow down my chattering at times, but oh well. Where was it? Yes, we slowly hop along back up here. Oh yeah, I wanted to break these pots because, hey, you never know, there might be money in it, in them. And unsurprisingly, there weren't. There was no money. But anyway, having done this path, and having explored everywhere else, we have one choice left. And unfortunately, I somehow managed to forget what exactly it is I was meant to do. And this is another one of those things that's slightly inconsistent with this game, in that with the water. Similar to how the water can tend to work, sometimes it slows you down, but other times it's like, oh man, I've got brilliant footing here. And yes, here we have a hint just quickly. It basically sounds like show tune. What's the term? It sounds like steps to a show tune. You just gotta take take one step forward and 2 steps back, and then you'll be able to do the hokey pokey or some crap. Sorry, I've gotta calm down with some of my chatter. But yes, with these conveyor belts, they're kind of iffy at times. Like in here, once you step on them, you're unable to walk forward. I'm not entirely sure what that was meant to mean. I think maybe it involved that one room, but I'd have to look into it. These switches don't stay on for ever, so you got to hit them in the correct sequence. And the top one obviously disappears almost instantly. The top one, or the middle one, disappears almost instantly. The top one I think stays on for the longest, and then the bottom one stays on for a sort of middling amount of time. We've got to kill these slimes again. Oh, we've got to kill these slimes, and then we've got to double back twice, and then we will move forward once and continue on to the next area. But anyway, as I was saying, the game's inconsistent conveyor belts can be irritating, because in this situation, I wasn't able to walk along them. I don't know why I needed to pick that up. I wasn't able to walk or move in any way once I was on it. The moment I stepped onto it, I was being moved by fate, or some nonsense like that. I wasn't able to move, basically. But in other areas, in like other locations and nightmare dreamscape type things, we're able to move on them. They have a limited control over our movement. It's kind of a confusing thing, you know? A strange deal. I don't know why I went louder there for a second, but yes, here we go up the staircase here, and we finally get to somewhere we sort of recognize. Or some might recognize. Now then, we finally managed to gain contact with Lars, the man who was playing the radio in our brain. And what do we have to fight? A giant stone golem, who looks sort of like the mummy, but not really. Now this guy is a bugger, to begin with anyway. Now here's the fun thing, he is very, very easily stun-locked, to the point where I ended up giving him a few attacks, what was it? As you can tell, he's very, very easily stun-locked. The best way to fight him is to never give him a chance to attack, otherwise, well, he summons boulders from up on high. I was feeling a bit rude about this, so I decided, well, it wasn't meant to hit me. After a while I decided, you know what, I may as well show off the attacks this guy has, because, you know, what the hell is a Let's Play if I'm not actually showing off how the bosses, maneuver. With the Gelatinite, there wasn't really much to do, because it's just like, he's a giant slime who sort of slimes around like a slime. What are you gonna do? This guy fucking calls down boulders from on high in several interesting patterns. It's pretty cool. Like, sometimes he just sort of doodles a line, and yep, that's all of them. Sometimes he shoots them forward, sometimes he shoots them, or summons them in a circle in front of him. And then sometimes he does the cardinal direction pattern that has, plagued so many people in video games. Thankfully, he's pretty easy to defeat if you're able to stun lock him. It's mainly just getting the timing of the strikes down correctly, because the Mercy invincibility always runs out pretty quickly, or it always runs out at the same time every time. So you just got to learn how to time. But unfortunately, I'm almost dead here, so I thought may as well heal myself up to health. And as he gets more damage, he somehow manages to move faster, which is kind of weird. Yep, we finally managed to defeat the bastard, use another one of our herbs, because, well, we got it, as well. And the bugger is dead. Bloody finally. It's pretty cool that he exploded in green fire, but hey, there's crazy stuff here. With the Ancient Guardian having been defeated, yes, he's called the Ancient Guardian, isn't that amazing? With that done, you might recognize this place. You might maybe recognize this place. Yes, it is the place we saw in the dream on the first video of this Let's Play. We finally get to talk to Lars in the, I want to say the flesh. Maybe the ectoplasm? I don't know. Yes, here we have another plot dump. We get to understand exactly what's going on here, slightly. We understand that, well, as he says, there's 7 guardians of the land. This matches up to these crests that were mentioned earlier on by the monkey man, or by the giant monkey. Now then, he is, as you can tell, he's basically, I want to say indoctrinating us, but yes. We learn that Malzah's is basically not a cool dude. He's managed to control the Merg, as we've already seen, and we gotta, as he say, we gotta use the 7 crests. And thankfully, we know where 2 of them are, and we now get a 3rd one. You know, once the treasure chests drop. Now, I hope you like this noise, because we're going to be hearing it 4 more blood. We're going to be hearing it 4 times in total. It's just. Every treasure chest is just like, holy shit, this is so bloody amazing. It is awesome. Now, we've managed to pick up an Earth Scroll, which means we now have access to magic. We have a Magic Seed, which means we can actually use that magic. Although, unfortunately, we don't get many uses. Only 1, as it were. And we get a Life Container, which is, a Life Vessel, sorry. We get a Diamond Container, as it were. I've used that joke before, I do apologize. But we pick that up, and we finally... What was it? We finally get told exactly what is going on with the crests. You know, you'd think these would be color-coded. I'm pretty sure they are in some situations, but in this one it's just like, he's blue. This is ruby. This is right. Yes, we get one of the 7 crests, and as you can tell, they're going to be fashioned after several shiny gems. And thankfully we got the ruby one already, so we got the best video game, the best Pokemon game, as it were. And with that done, we get more of an understanding of what's going on, and we get given a path to the back to the start of the area, which is pretty good considering the fucking path is really long. But we do get an opportunity to try. We do at least get the opportunity to try and pick up any chests that we may not have found, that we may not have plundered earlier. Unfortunately, I'm not like that, because, you know what, sod it, I got what I came for, let's just get the hell out of here. My name has been Mr. Smeg Hennigan, and I hope you've enjoyed this video.